Hey, it's Hamza Khan Abbasi from Pakistan. In this video, we'll be comparing the war performances of both Indian Air Force and Pakistan Air Force on the air front. Being human, I don't support any kind of war because war have no winners. Common human beings are those who suffer in war. If you think my perspective is incorrect or biased, let me know in the comments below. I don't intend to hurt anyone. Through this video, we'll not be discussing any other front of war in this video, only air front will be our topic of discussion. The first known skirmish between India and Pakistan occurred in 1959 on day of Eid al-Fitr. Pakistani Air Force fighters were ordered to take down or shoot down the Indian Air Force jets which crossed the international declared airspace. Pakistani Air Force successfully shot down 2 air jets of Indian Air Force. The second known air fight between India and Pakistan occurred on Rann of Kutch before the outbreak of 1965 war. An Indian pilot crossed the international airfield with the plan to bomb Pakistani training camps on the Rann of Kutch. The Indian jet was successfully traced, and when Pakistani Air Force approached the jet fighter, it surrendered. Even today, you can see the surrendered jet at Karachi Museum. Later, the pilot was released as a gesture. Before 1965 war, any sign of aggression on the air front at least wasn't shown from the Pakistani Air Force. That's why we aren't discussing it. When we'll be discussing the performances of both Pakistan and Indian Air Force in 1965 and later 1971 war, we'll be giving you an overview. We'll not be discussing each and every skirmish or story because we want to make this video as brief as possible it can. The actual air war between India and Pakistan broke when Indian Air Force on 1st September was ordered to carry out massive bombing on Pakistani Jawans patrolled in Kashmir front. Answering the call of help from Sialkot, Pakistani Air Force sent its 2 fighter jets to rescue. 3 of India's fighter jets were shot down in the skirmish. Let's have an eye view of the capabilities and numbers of both Pakistan Air Force and Indian Air Force before the war. Indian Air Force was 3 times greater in number and both in fighter jets from Pakistan Air Force. It was also much more experienced than Pakistan Air Force. That's why it had a clear edge before the war on the counterpart. Let's come to the results of dogfight between India and Pakistan now. India lost about maximum 75 aircrafts, whereas Pakistan lost 20 aircrafts. Pakistan claimed to lose 19 aircrafts, whereas India claimed to lose 45. Neutral assessment enclosed that Pakistan had a clear victory over its counterpart when it comes to 1965 war. Let it be the dogfight or it be the aerial bombing. Pakistan Air Force had a clear edge beside the heavy numbering and technical experience which was being claimed by Indian Air Force before the war. Pakistani Air Force shot about 65 of Indian aircraft. 3 of Indian aircraft surrendered, whereas no Pakistani aircraft surrendered. 15 of them were shot and 4 were lost, whereas 2 of Indian aircraft lost in the battle. So why was it that Indian Air Force, beside its clear advantage when it comes to the numbers and the technical ground, failed? The answer is that Pakistani fighters were much more trained than the Indian counterpart beside the claims. That's why they gained a clear victory. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say on the matter. According to Wikipedia, Pakistan had a clear victory when it's come to aerial front. The reasons behind Pakistani victory can be the aggression shown from the counterpart. Indian Air Force wasn't well experienced when it comes to Pakistani fronts. That's why, according to Wikipedia's analyst, it lost. Wikipedia also discusses about first ace of subcontinent, which we call as MM Alam. I think my video will be incomplete if I'll not be talking about him. MM Alam is not only a hero of Pakistan, but he is also a hero of people of India. He was the first Bengali or first Pakistani or first man from subcontinent who shot 5 fighter jets in a minute and turned into first Pakistani ace. Salute to the man, wherever from which force he is. On the aerial front, MM Alam was the only war hero. Heroes are not only thing which war left us with. We also have the war martyrs. Respect the martyrs from wherever they are, either they are from Pakistan or they are from India, they died for their country. Salute and a second of silence for these martyrs. These 3 handsome boys which you are seeing are the martyrs of Indian Air Force. Observe silence for a second, please. Respect to those who gave their life for their homeland. These were the only martyrs from Indian Air Force I found online. There were 71 more. Salute to them also. Now the pictures you are seeing are of Pakistani martyr, the martyr of air warfare. Salute to them and observe a second of silence for them. Martyrs of us all. Not including these lines of Wikipedia in my video will be an insult for victorious Pakistani Air Force. Wikipedia says in the last days of war, Pakistani Air Force was free to patrol wherever they want to in Indian cities with no resistance offered. It will also be an insult of Indian Air Force if I will not be accepting their bravery, their good strategies, their good geofencing, and their good patrolling and their defense of their troops. They were best in that, we must admit it. Let's come to 1971 war now. Basically, in 1971 war, Air Force wasn't used as much it was used in 1965, so we cannot call it an air war. That was basically air skirmishes between India and Pakistan. India won the war when it came to ground. India never used Air Force as a tool in Battle of 1971. It was Pakistan to use it by carrying out Operation Genghis Khan, which was a success according to Pakistani authorities. Wikipedia enclosed that all the fighter planes came unscratched, whereas Indians claim that 97 pilots were shot or 97 jets were shot, which are never traced actually. So besides the victory on the ground, Indian Air Force lost in 1971 too when it comes to Air Force, but that was just a skirmish. Well, I'm repeating it again. I don't intend to hurt anyone through this video, but facts are facts. I was comparing the performance of Pakistan Air Force versus Indian Air Force. Since Pakistan Air Force it have shot down 127 Indian aircrafts. 3 of Indian aircrafts have surrendered, which Pakistan Air Force shows in their museums. Whereas on the other hand, India have only shot down 19 Pakistani aircraft so far and do not have any of Pakistani surrendered aircraft. In terms of performance, Pakistan has its own ace, MM Alam, who shot down 5 aircraft at a time. This is the world record still waits to be broken. Pakistan Air Force have always been failed to achieve the technical and number superiority on India. But when it comes to performance, Pakistan Air Force have always succeeded. India needs to understand that aggression is what made them lose. I don't want to hurt anyone from across the border. That's the proofs. Go search it yourself if I am lying to you or I'm biased. The Pakistani success in 1965 is what led to me this conclusion. Later, the Changez mission and the run of skirmishes and the Indian surrender is what forcing me to conclude that Pakistan has an edge when it's come to performance, but not in technical grounds or not in numbers. The source of my information is Wikipedia. You can ask me the source anytime in the comment box. I love India and both Pakistan. I need both countries to prosper, not waste their energies in unwanted fights, to use their energies where needed. Pakistan, Paindabad. Tribute to the martyrs and the heroes of us both from India and Pakistan.